why does this erase event button doesn't function the way most people think? Because most people think if they use this erase event option inside an event, the event will get deleted forever. One thing that most people won't tell you regarding RPG Maker and any other platform is that when you run your map, everything will happen the way you programmed it. You leave the map, when you come back to this map, it will be refreshed. Map refresh means the map will be loaded with all the events within it as if it was the first time you ever run the map. Okay, that is something that many people simply either forget about or they have never been spoken to about this. And it creates a lot of confusion because once you have that conviction and you use things like erase events, well, you're gonna end up in a very weird situation where you simply start questioning how things actually truly function. Because programming isn't necessarily as straightforward as you may think. Don't forget that programming is about convincing the computer about what you want to do, but on their language, not yours. So erase event, when you use it, it's gonna erase the event or events that you want, but only for that current running of the map. When your player comes back to that map, those events that you deleted, they will be respawned. Why this erase may work is because, well, you may have parallel events and you can erase them so that for that current running of the map, you are sure that they won't bother you anymore. And when the player comes back on the map, you may still need those events to trigger one more time before they are deleted. But in case you want an event to simply run just once and then no longer need it, well, erase event is not gonna be your best bet. You can use the very, oldie but goldie technique where you create, conditional and you set it to a variable. You set your entire code to a variable which is 0 or whatever value you want, copy paste, and then you have a situation for that event which is gonna be different than 0, right? Then you will have your code. Let's say this is your code, right? Everything the event wants to do, you want the event to do, and at the end of the event or anywhere within it, you can set the variable to any other value. Let's say 2, 3, whatever, 1, any other value than 0. Okay, because if it is 0, it will run your event. And let's say this would be parallel instead of action, right? You can even use create else branch if you want. I prefer using else branches in case there are two conditionals that contradict one another. And then when you have this one different than 0, you can say turn cell switch A on, and then you can create a copy paste event. You copy the event page. In this one, you simply delete it, you set it to action button, you leave it blank. Okay? Now this would be without a cell switch. Because in some simple events, I prefer not using switches, but using cell switches because it's easy to also use this. Okay? You just need to know the script and you can call cell switches of any event from outside that specific event. I prefer using this because the less switches I use, the healthier the smaller and healthier my architecture, my game's architecture will be. This is something a bit more than for beginners to chew. But this is how your event will go. If you want it to only function just once, you can also put here erase event. It's not going to change much. This is the better option to do because you set it to 0. Once it runs once, you don't need this anymore. Okay, it ran once, then every time this event would trigger, it triggers its cell switch on, which is an action button. It never triggers again. It won't bother you anymore if that is exactly what you're looking. Hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness about RPG Maker. You are appreciated. Take care. John Board signing out.